about what is the need of a physician. So the need of a physician is that he must study the homeopathic principle until he learns what is in sickness that guides to the curative remedy. So what we do in homeopathy, that we have to find a curative remedy, and we are not going to find a drug or something which can harm the body. And a physician must study the materia medica until he learns what is needed to meet these demands. He must then study the repertoire until he learns how to use it so that he can find what he wants and what he needs it. So there are, that when we practice homeopathy, first of all, there are three kinds of homeopaths in the world. The first kind of homeopath are who are learning or who have been in homeopathy. So they are just doing it for the sake of just learning, and then they are not in the practice. Then there are second kind of homeopaths who are partially practicing homeopathy, but most of the time they have their other professions, like maybe they are medical doctors, maybe they are from some other profession. The last one are those who are completely dependent upon homeopathy as a profession. Like in India, those who get graduated from homeopathy, more than 95% are dependent upon it. So when we say homeopathy is very good, homeopathy has no side effect, it is very natural, people love it, they like it, they want to study about it. On the other side, the bitter story is that homeopathy is not a first choice as a profession. So when I started homeopathy in 1983, after seeing my father in this practice, I went to a college. I studied there for 4.5 years. I learned all basic information about homeopathy, organ, philosophy. Besides that, I learned all the allied subjects like pathology, like surgery, all this material. But after 4.5 years of study in college, practically I was zero. I had no idea how to practice homeopathy. Everything was in my mind was theory, and show how they take the case, how they understand the patient, how they find the remedy, what happens after the remedy, why to give a specific remedy, how many remedies are to be given and to be learned. So there was no specific answer that how many remedies one should learn. Like a practitioner, if you want to start a practice, how many remedies one should learn that he can say that, okay, now I can practice. So you must have your own idea. But I would say that if you could learn 10 medicine is enough for you to start your practice. So homeopathy has become older now, not too old, but older. It is like a 250-year-old only, still young. But we need to be more experienced. We need more experienced doctors. We need those who are clinically practicing homeopathy and guide, the newcomers how to practice it. I did not want to be a homeopath. Okay? Very frank. It was not my dream. It was not my love. It was not my liking. Because my father was enough for me that he is doing something, but because he was studying a lot, all the time he was studying a lot for 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day. So being a young 22-year-old, I never, or 20-year-old, sorry, I never wanted to be a homeopath. It was not in mind. But it's a destiny. You know that if I had not chosen homeopathy in 1983, I would never met you. So meeting you, though maybe it's too late for me to meet you after 40 years of completing my homeopathy, I mean, that I entered. So it's a destiny that I entered into homeopathy. I learned homeopathy for 5 years. And you know that, and it is a real destiny to be son of Dr. Sehgal. You know that, and to to propagate his idea, propagate his work, and practicing myself. You know, it was very hard to practice, very hard. When I started practicing in 1989, I tell you, it was the hardest days when you could practice homeopathy. It was very hard to even to have patients in your clinic. Forget about opening the clinic. First, you have to open the clinic, and then you have to have the patient. Then only you can start your journey. So that was a bit of story about my life. So that introduction, I think it was must for me to tell you, and that's why I'm telling you something about real story of Dr. Honeyman, who fought, really he fought to establish his idea. So Honeyman, in the most unfavorable circumstances and in spite of the greatest obstacle thrown in his way, he continued his work. Now here I would like to say that when Dr. Sehgal first time opened his mouth and propagated his idea that homeopathy can be done by mind rubrics or mental state, everybody laughed. They mocked him that what is this stupid idea? How can it possible that you see first a homeopath, what a homeopath does? First, he ignore all the kind of pathology investigation. Then a homeopath ignore disease because we don't uh, say that disease is there. And then Dr. Sehgal says ignore the physical symptoms. Then how to practice? We ignore investigation, we ignore disease, we ignore all the physical symptoms. Only by mind one can practice, and that also only by listening some words. So it was a very unique and for some people crazy idea that how could somebody practice like this. But Dr. Sehgal, like Dr. Honeyman, was he adhered. Okay, he fought with his colleague in 1979, 1980. He had a big struggle to really tell his idea to the homeopathic world. Nobody was believing him. So, but Dr. Sehgal did not give up. He continued his journey with his own idea. And today, you know that I am in front of you with this idea. So what we have to learn by our master, the first thing what we have to learn is that there could be many obstacles which will come in your way to practice homeopathy, but we must not give up because there are many discouraging. There must be many discouraging moments in your life. What are the most discouraging moments in homeopathic life, homeopath's life? The most discouraging is that our expectation. As a physician, we expect a lot. I give medicine, patient will get better like in magic. We are not magic. We are what we are. Anybody in the chat, what we are. We are not magic. What homeopath is. Anybody can write in a chat quickly what we are. Please write in the chat box. Observer, okay. Healer, yes. We are only a helper, okay. Mankind. Anybody else? Facilitators. Okay, so we are dealers of similar. We deal with similar. So that is, that word we have to keep in mind, that we are dealer of similars. We are not healer. We have to be, that find something which can work for human being in a similar. So first idea is to understand what is similar. What is similar? Okay. Until unless we don't understand why the idea of similar has come, from where. So what Dr. Honeyman did is that after following the clue, he started to prove several so-called specific drugs on himself and on some others. He noticed in every case a similarity of symptom, that is the similarity of symptom produced by the drug to those of the natural disease to which they were supposed to be specific. He made the introduction, drawing of conclusion from particular cases that the disease so cured by medicines were due to their power of producing similar disease in a healthy human being. So friends, the word similar is very important for us. He then converted this introduction to deduction and said, let like be cured by likes, similar, similibus, santura. Let likes be cured by likes. So, I have a very simple question. How many hours of learning you gave to organon? So please write in the chat box. How many hours individually everyone has given to learn about organon by yourself or your college, and to understood why organon was written? What was the need of organon? This foundation, Hassan, this foundation is very little with you, but it need to be, very solid. Foundation has to be very solid. Because if there is no foundation, there is no homeopathy. Because what was the concept of homeopathy? Without knowing the concept of homeopathy by Honeyman, how one can practice? First, you have to know the concept. Why homeopathy was brought? What was the need of homeopathy? I mean, Honeyman could have done nothing, only translation of book. But what was why he want to bring one kind of healing? Why he wanted to bring medicine? He was already was a medicine doctor. What was the need to bring another medicine? Okay, even if he was not satisfied, but what was the need to bring it? Order separate. Honeyman knew the danger of being a wise man. He knew the risk of introducing new idea which is against the popular belief and principle. This is the same fight Dr. Sehgal had. He knew the risk of introducing the new idea that mind alone is sufficient to cure a case. Now, minimum is about doses, about the medicine which we give. How many doses we should give a patient? Nobody still in this world could say strongly that how many doses a patient needs, or how many times and how many globules. But according to Dr. Honeyman, we should give minimum doses, means there may be few, one globule, three globules, and not repeatedly. Nothing is complete in this world. We need to modify ourselves. If we say, oh, I learned everything about homeopathy, then I'm stupid. I have to learn a lot yet, a lot. And you know that how I can learn, not by books, only from my patient and my practice. Only practice can make you perfect, and theory only can add to your knowledge. But this knowledge is useless if you are not practicing. And most of the schools in Europe or many schools, they don't encourage students to learn organon that much, which they should. They only tell very little about organon, but they don't tell that what is the utility of organ and how to use it. And also that without learning organon, you cannot practice any method in the world of homeopathy. And forget about homeopathy itself. Okay, friends. Now, the word Dr. Honeyman used, not the doctor. He used the word physician. Okay, so what we are? We are physician. Physician. Now, physics means the science, art, practice of medicine. And physician means one skilled in the use of physics or the art of healing. Doctor. So what we are artists as well as scientists. So we are both. So as an artist, what we have to learn, the whole, you know, that why we are art and why we are science. That is the question. If homeopathy is science, why we are science? Because our medicines are proved on human beings, and we got all our, you know, provings from the human being itself, and that is why we call ourselves scientists. Scientific story, because it is not theory which we are written in Materia Medica. Our Materia Medica is written after a human consumed a product in a form of, you can say, bark, poison, mineral, and he told the prover some kind of symptoms, and those symptoms were written as it is in Materia Medica, which will, so we say that it is scientifically proven symptoms given by a human being, not by a mouse. And why we are artists? We are artists and we are science also because we have some law. We have law. So we are more scientific because we follow certain laws, like law of similar, law of simplex. So this law we are following, and then we are also like artists of healer. So what is our artistic work? To understand the man. This is our artistic work. So we are scientists because of our proving, and we are artists because we try to understand the man, not the disease. Now the second word you see here, mission. What is the mission means? The word mission commonly means the purpose for which we are born, to send person for the spread of religion. So what we are missionaries. So what I say to myself, I say to myself, I'm a missionary. Missionary about what? To promote my father's idea. So what I do, I go one country to another country like a missionary, telling my idea. I don't mind criticism. There are many people who criticize my father, myself, our theory. Somebody says we are prejudiced, somebody says we are imaginary, somebody says this is one-sided, somebody says how it is possible that just by listening the patient you find the remedy. But nothing could, we are there. We are there and stick to our idea that it works. So mission means, or one is missionary, or one or for task or goal assigned to a person or group. So what Hahnemann wanted to tell, that it is our goal or our task. What is the task of a physician? To cure. The original word used by Hahnemann was beruf, which means occupation, profession, or trade. So, what Hahnemann wanted to say, it is a business, it is a trade of a physician, high and only. So, mission here was not like a charity for Dr. Hahnemann. The mission word came by Dr. Hahnemann like a profession or trade. So, but lastly, Dr. Kent used the word mission instead of profession because he thought that a physician is not only a professional being but also a humanitarian, one whose heart and mind both work for the betterment of the human suffering. In the footnote of section 1, Hahnemann takes a very practical view of the physician's responsibility to the patient. He says that the mission of the physician is not to construct empty speculation and hypotheses regarding the internal essential nature of vital process and the mode in which disease originates in the invisible interior of the organism, not to give countless explanations concerning the phenomena of disease. Now, what is high and only? The physician has two roles to play: to cure disease and to preserve health and prevent disease in the individual community. Among these two, the first and the foremost or prime aim of the physician is to cure the disease. So, the word cure is very important for us. What is sick? Sick means diseased person as a whole. And what is sickness? Sickness means disease. So, friend, what we do in homeopathy? We are dealing with sick people. We are not dealing with sickness. Okay? So, what we are doing when somebody is coming to us to take medicine and we are talking to a sick person having some problem, but we are not talking to somebody having disease and extracting the symptom of disease. So the first thing is that when a person is coming to you, when a patient is coming to you, don't make him sick anymore. He's already sick. And you are burdening him with the symptom. Oh, you have pain. Oh, so bad. Oh, you will die tomorrow. You know that you have a very bad disease. And you see the x-ray. Oh, and the patient who is already sick, when you are showing him x-ray, when you are talking about the disease, he already died. You are putting him on the deathbed. What the doctor will do? A poor patient sitting in front of you like a goat. Doctor, what is my problem? He's like this. And you are showing him fear. Oh, you are a very serious stethoscope. Oh, your heart is gone. Your lung is collapsed. You have ulcer in the stomach. You have ulcer in the mouth. No, he is already sick. He is coming to you for some kind of assurance. He is coming to you that you will do something kind for him. He expects some kindness from you, some nice word, some smile, something nice. But what the doctor give? Sit down. Show me your pulse. You have only 4 days left. Now you will die. Now, what we are giving to him? Nothing. We are killing him already without giving medicine. So what a physician needs? A physician is a mother as well as the father of the patient. We are not trying to understand the patient. We are trying to understand the disease, symptom, X-ray, ultrasound. So where the doctor lives in investigation. The doctor lives in disease. And where a homeopath lives in man, in the heart of the people. Are you getting my point? If I'm right, say yes. If I'm wrong, say no, you're wrong. So I hope you agree with. So this is a very hard job, you know. The first job of a homeopath. What is the first? If you want to be homeopath, yes, I want to be homeopath. I have so many books. I have read every book. I'm the best like Honeyman. What is the quality of a homeopath? What is the quality of a homeopath? The quality of a homeopath is to understand your patient, not to know your patient. No, no, you don't have to be listener. Otherwise, you listen the whole day. Okay? Don't get emotional with the patient. Never get emotional with your patient. Never, never. Write it. It's a golden words. Never, ever get emotional with your patient. That is the first thing when you want to be a good homeopath. Only try to understand your patient. Listen what is needed. Don't listen the whole story. Okay? And then what we are? We are observer. Dr. Honeyman wants us to be an observer. Okay? But why we are not watcher? What is the difference between observe and watch? Are we watching our patient or we observe our patient? And what to observe like this? What to observe? Show me your tongue. Very bad. This is we have to observe. Show me your eyes. Oh, cataract. This we have to observe. Show me your hair. This we have to observe. Show me, oh, your nose is dirty. So what to observe? Are we going to observe the body or not? Yes or no? What to observe? We have to observe the body language of the patient. We have to observe how he enters into the chamber, how he sits, how he talks. Doctor, doctor, I don't want to die. This you have to observe. Salam. This you have to observe. Hello, doctor. How are you? This we have to observe. We have to observe the language of the body language, mannerism. Oh, doctor, I have enough money. Tell me how much, what is your price? This you have to observe. Okay? Not his nose, eyes, tongue, ear, hair. This you can see yourself. What to observe in it? Nothing. So when you have to be a, Honeyman says, you have to be a good observer and good listener. But who is a good listener? What to listen? We should not get trapped. Listen, the second point of the day is don't get trapped into the story of the patient. This is the second line of the day. Don't get trapped into the emotion and the story of the patient. Useless. Never listen the story of the patient. A patient says, doctor, I have to tell you many things. You say, I don't have time. Only tell me why you are here. What do you want from me? So what we have to listen, why your patient has come to you, what he wants from you, okay, what he thinks about his disease or sickness, what has brought him to you. That you have to listen. You don't have to listen the whole story from the birth, from the pregnancy of his mother, from the birth to the whole 50-year story. You will sleep or you will forget everything. So be precise with the patient. Be pointed. Always listen what is needed. That you have to listen, not the whole story. Okay, and so you have to be a good listener. Only listen what is important, and you have to be a good observer. You observe the body language and the gestures of the patient. That you have to observe. Okay. So what we are dealing with? We are dealing with the sick person. What is cure? So is coming to you because he is a sufferer from a suffering. He is a sufferer, not his suffering. Suffering is different because, but firstly, he is a sufferer. Okay. Now he doesn't know what is homeopathy. He doesn't know anything. He only knows he has to get better. So what is the mission of a patient? The mission of a patient is to get better. It doesn't matter how. If he has to use steroid cream, this cream, that cream, homeopathy, Ayurvedic, whatever. But his aim is to get better. And what is our aim? To make him better. It's very challenging job. Homeopathy is a challenging job. For example, the patient says, I give you only 24 hours. In 24 hours, if your medicine will not work, I will apply cream. So we are in a state of challenge. We have to find a similum. And we are not finding a remedy for itching. We are not finding a remedy for eczema. We are not finding a remedy for stopping his scratching. We have to find a remedy for him first. And there we have to be artist. But we have to be scientific. When a patient asks you, doctor, tell me why I cannot apply steroid cream, what do you answer? We have to have a scientific answer to tell him not only that it will suppress. So what? Not only that it is harmful with my remedy. So what? This is nonsense. We have to be very practical approach. We have to have a practical approach that how to make him understand that whatever medicine do, he will only, that he will only understand you when the remedy which you give him will help him. Otherwise, he will not take your theories. This is all theory, suppression. It will harm your body. It will not let the medicine will work. If steroid cream, if a cream will stop homeopathy work, you know it. Okay, you know it. Then why you are doing homeopathy then? So the basic job of a homeopath is that he should fulfill the demand of the patient. The patient says, I can only tolerate by tomorrow. Otherwise, I will apply the cream. Now, how will you do? You will go to his home, tie him with ropes, give him medicine, and he will not take the cream. No, you can't do it. You have to do something. This is where homeopathy is very challenging. One side we want to stop him, not to do this, not to do this, not to do this, because we believe on certain ideas. But we have to be practical. Otherwise, we fail. What? So the challenge is that you have to make him satisfied within 24 hours. So what we have, 24 hours only. You can be strong in your words, but I know my patient, how they force me, okay, to find a remedy for 24 hours only. What as a homeopath we can do? What are our limitations? First, you have to know your limitations. There is no shortcut. Then you give the medicine and everything get like a magic disappears. There is no magic. So everything has to be having right answer. Okay, we need very rightly the first job of homeopath is not to torture your patient. That is a job. If you feel that the patient is getting tortured, for example, there are patients, they ask me, doctor, if my pain increase to unbearable, what shall I do? Now there are two answers. One answer is I must find a simillimum. Okay, I must find a simillimum which will not produce or which will not make the pain to increase. That is my first job. But in case I fail, I cannot ask the patient to cry, to live in a hell for whole night. Okay, if you feel that my medicine hasn't worked, take painkiller. So what? It's okay. Then come back to me. I will find another remedy for you. So, friend, we can see. Don't tell the bad theories to the patient. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is right. This is wrong. Only thing is you have to say to the patient that the patient says that every morning I apply cream. Every morning. Okay. Now my job is that to find a simillimum that the next morning when he gets up, the itching should not be so strong. That is all. I cannot say you suffer and my medicine is not working. So why should he suffer? Are you getting my point? What I learned from practicing, I learned from my practice where is my limitation as a homeopath, what is the limitation of homeopathy, and how to understand a man, how to manage a patient, how to find a potency. These all things what we are going to learn. So my first idea was to tell you that organelle is very important. So the first idea for us is what we have to do is to cure our patient. But the thing is that are we going to give cure in every case? No. We are not able to cure every case. We are not God. Okay? But what we need to do is to cure. So what is the definition of cure? How I understand that I gave the medicine and the patient got cure. How do I understand this? What is the phenomena of cure? What is the philosophy of cure? Cure means what? Just to disappearance of the symptom is cure. So what is cure? Now the definition of cure is that whenever a patient is coming to you, now please write. Whenever a patient comes to you first time for any kind of problem, any acute, chronic, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay? When a patient comes to you, in the case taking, what you need to ask, how much energy do you have? How much energy do you have? This is the thing which is the first guideline of cure. Okay. For example, the patient says, my energy level is in the body is 80%, or my energy level is 50%, or my energy level is 10%. Mariam, Mariam says cure means patient could be in a peace with him and around. Everybody needs peace. Why? Why you need peace? We have to have peace inside, not outside. Outside there is no peace. The peace has to be inside. Okay? Even if I'm poor, it doesn't matter. So this is peace. Okay? The peace is that, oh, I lost my mother. But it's a destiny. This is peace. So the peace is that you are satisfied. Okay? So the patient, when a patient comes to you, Mariam, after taking the medicine, he will say, I'm satisfied. This is the best medicine you gave. I never felt so much restore mental and physical health. No. We have to give the patient what he has lost. That's all. Simple. Okay? So the simple idea is, we have to give patient back what he has lost, mentally or physically. That's all. This is our cure. Because, for example, mentally I'm okay. Okay? But physically I have headache. So mentally he is already okay. So what to give mental? Nothing. What we have to give him? A painless life. That's what he wants. A patient says, physically I'm okay, but mentally I'm disturbed. So nothing to do on the physical level. Nothing. Only what we have to give him, whatever he wants. So what we have to give our patient, Mariam, what he wants. That's all. The day, when your patient says, I'm satisfied now. I came to you for headache. Your medicine helped me very nicely with my headache. Now I'm able to sleep, I'm able to eat, I'm able to do my work, I'm active. This is cure. But when a patient is coming to you with headache, there is no change in headache, so nothing happens. So whatever a patient demands, we have to give him back what he needs. That is our job. Nothing less, nothing more. If a patient is coming to you that I'm not able to sleep, okay? We are not going to give him bed. Okay, I give you bed and sleep. This is not my job. He has bed. We don't say change the bed. Or don't sleep at night, sleep in the daytime. That to be simple with your patient, not to complicate him. Simple. Be simple with your patient. What you want? I want sleep. What is my job? To give him sleep. That is simple. But we are talking 1 hour with the patient. About what? Patient is coming to you with a simple thing. I want sleep. And we are spending our 1 hour to understand the sleep. After 1 hour, he may sleep in your clinic without medicine. So we are wasting our time. We have to simply understand why he could not sleep. What is the problem? So the simple means that you have to ask the patient to tell why you cannot sleep. I'm not able to find the sleep medicine. I have to simply understand why you can't sleep. If you don't have bed, if you don't have time, what is the problem? So we have to understand the problem behind not able to sleep, not to understand the sleep. There has to be something. For example, a patient says, I can't eat. I have no appetite. Okay. Now I have to understand why you can't eat. What is the problem behind it? So what is a homeopath is going behind the problem. Everything has a problem behind it. I'm not happy. Why you are not happy? I don't know how to be happy. So as a homeopath, if I know how to be happy, it means firstly I have to be a happy person. Then I can make another person happy. But if I myself is depressed, if a homeopath is depressed, if a homeopath is in a bad mood and the patient is asking you, doctor, make me happy, and the doctor himself is not happy, so how will he make him happy? So first the doctor has to give a remedy to himself to be happy first. As a homeopath, what we need a balanced mind. If we don't have a balanced mind, we will not able to understand our patient. And what is a balanced mind? When you go to your clinic, when you are going to sit in front of your patient, you have to leave all your work, all your problem at home. When you enter in your chamber, you have to have no problem in the mind. You have to be free from everything. Just listen the patient, look at the patient. That is what you need. And the cure means the first, now it's a modern cure. What is the modern cure is energy level. So what we need to give to the patient is, you know that every patient, he loses the energy. It doesn't matter what is the problem. So what we have to give him first, energy. Okay, that is the one rule of cure. Energy has to come back quickly, very quickly, within half an hour, within 1 hour, next day, but energy has to be completely restored. Not the mental and physical health restored, but because if you tell the patient, if a patient asks you, doctor, how will you help? And I tell the patient, I restore your health and mental health. He will say, what is this? I cannot say my patient that you are coming for cough and fever. I give you mental health. He said, mentally, I'm okay. There is no problem in my mind. Only relieve my cough. So he will not understand what you are talking about. So first I tell the patient, okay, you are suffering from cough. How do you feel your energy in the body from the last 3 days? Oh, my energy is 90% okay, but 10% he needs this. And why his cough is not getting better? Why his cough is not getting better? Now the patient asked me the question, what is the connection of my energy to the cough? Why you are asking this question? I'm coughing, I have a fever, I have a pain in my legs, I have loss of appetite. Why you are asking about energy? Now what is scientific answer? So friend, whatever I practice, I have answer. Whatever I ask my patient, I have answer. So when, for example, a patient asks me, doctor, I have come to you because I have pain in my body. And now you are asking me about energy. Why? So I tell the patient that your problem has appeared because your body has lost the energy. If your body has 100% energy, you will never have any problem. The moment you lose the energy, the problem starts. Okay? And then the patient understands your question. And then he will answer, yes, I think you are right. uh, 2 weeks ago, I started to feel weakness. I started to feel less energy. I was getting tired easily. And after 7 days of that, my legs pain started. So the leg pain started after 7 days of losing the energy. Are you getting my point? But what we have to cure, what we have to give him relief from, we have to give relief to the patient from his leg pain. Our target is leg pain. But the leg pain will only get better after his energy will get completely restored. So, for example, what is cure? If a patient comes to you after taking the medicine, that my leg pain has gone better, like allopathy, but my body weakness is still the same. Is this a cure? No, this is not cure. By homeopathy. By allopathy, yes. Because in allopathy, they say, okay, your pain is better, and for your weakness, you can take vitamins. Take vitamin C, vitamin B12, vitamin D. It's okay, but we have no medicine for lack of energy. But in homeopathy, it's not homeopathy. It is the rule of homeopathy. The law of homeopathy says that our vital force or vital process has to restore first. So when I give the medicine and the patient tells me that, doctor, after taking the medicine, my pain is 20% better, but my energy is 80% better. This is, we are going towards cure now. And then the patient says that, doctor, you know that after 3 days, I started to feel very active, same like before, and the same day my leg pain disappeared. This is cure. So we are curing body, mind, and spiritual. Now, there are 3 things homeopathy take care of: body, mind, spiritual. Everything at one place. So, but this is why we all target about the cure. So that is the definition of cure by modern means now, that the energy level has to restore first. Okay, so now this chapter, I'm going to another chapter now. Okay, so friends, now I'm bringing you to the kingdom of mind, Sehgal method, a holistic, simple, and practical approach in homeopathy, for which you are here. Now, what Dr. Sehgal told us, to share knowledge and benefit of one's experience with other is the noblest thing a person can do. It doesn't matter how best you can beat others in discussion with forceful words in theories. It does matter whatever you say is practical and result bound. That is my mission with you. Whatever I tell you, you can practice. Because, for example, if you, for example, a patient says, what are you going to give me? I will give you vital force. He will look at you. Which force? Vital? What is that? But if I tell my patient, I will give you your energy back. I will give you your appetite back. You can, after my medicine, you will be able to sleep well. Okay? He can understand. Okay, this I like it. So the patient says to you, I have come to you with a leg pain. And you are telling me that with the leg pain, you will give me my energy, my appetite, my sleep. What is this? So I say that this is a kind of a product. Buy one, get three free. This is homeopathy. So what is homeopathy, friends? You buy one, get three free. So you tell this patient to this, and he understands. So what we are giving? Because we tell our patient that I treat you for one, but my medicine will take care of everything. How? How it is possible? How it is possible that you give medicine for one thing and it takes care of everything in the body? I will come to it. Because these are the questions which your patient asks you, and you have to answer it practically. How it is possible that a homeopathic medicine take care of every symptom in the body when you are giving medicine for a particular disease? How it covers? Well, we will know about it slowly. So according to Sehgal method, the conception of mind differ from that of the duality of existence of the body and mind, which preaches mentals and physicals as two different levels. So friend, in the first chapter, when we consider mind, we consider body and mind together. We don't consider the mental state and physical state as two parts. What we consider that mind belongs to the body and body belongs to the mind. They complement each other. Without mind, body cannot function. Without body, mind cannot function. So this is like they are complementing each other. This is what is our theory. So according to Sehgal method, no human mind is free of thinking at any given time. And that is why in each and every case, the mental state are always present. So friend, in this chapter, we are going to talk about mental state. There could be some doubts coming to your mind. The doubts will come slowly in your mind as I will teach you about this method. The first doubt that if mental state only is enough in cracking all the cases, is it true? And the second question which may come to your mind that I'm practicing in India. Okay. Do you know this? Okay, you know this. I'm from India. Okay. So, and how can I practice with my method in Iran? You have your own culture, you have your own habits, you have your own shyness, you have your own ABCD, many things. Okay. Maybe we have some ingredients, maybe we have some traits. Our DNA is somehow a little bit same from, because we are neighbors. We have some families exchange, mother, father in the past. Maybe some trades are there between Persia, Hindi, Urdu. Language are changed, languages are there. But how it is possible that I understand the feeling of an Iranian patient as I understand the feeling of Indian patient? If Indian patient people behave similar like Iranian patient, that would be a doubt that, oh, how it will work. Because, for example, allopath, they find a remedy for cancer, or they find a remedy for migraine, they find a remedy for blood pressure. That medicine work in Iran, Germany, in India, every country. The same medicine, same formula, same chemical work in every human being. That is the one part. But when we are dealing with homeopathy, you know that what is the beauty of homeopathy? The beauty of homeopath. If there are 100 homeopaths in Iran, there are 100 methods of homeopathy. Everyone has his own thinking how to give medicine. Even if you learn from me, you will not follow me. You will follow your own mind. You will put something inside. Okay? You will not truly follow me exactly how I'm teaching you. Maybe some part of you will say, oh, I agree with him. This I don't agree with him. This is okay. He's Indian. He doesn't know anything. We are from Iran. We don't behave like this. We are behave like this. Okay? But that could be your part. That's not my part. But I know that this happens. So the first part is we have to be very simple. Again, the more you are simpler, the more you are successful. The more you are complicated, the more you flop. So the first thing is take my idea as an open-minded. That it is true. If I see a patient in India and if I see a patient in Iran, it doesn't matter. Because I am not dealing with a culture. I'm not dealing with a country. I'm dealing with a human being and I know how to understand a human being. That is the art of homeopathy. You have to learn how to understand a man. Okay? And understanding of man is in his will and understanding. We have to, these two words we have to keep in mind. So we start our journey from understanding of man by Sehgal method. So the first thing which is clear by us is that every human mind is no human mind is free of thinking. So there was a first doubt which appeared in the mind of doctors in 1980s, that the question came to Dr. Sehgal, how it is possible that we can cure every patient with mind, ignoring the physical, ignoring the miasm, ignoring the modalities, how it is possible? That was a big task that time. Then Dr. Sehgal told everybody that you know that it doesn't matter if you are suffering from a mental problem or a physical problem. Okay, the mind has its own faculty to react. For example, if a patient having a problem of headache in India and a headache in Iran, okay, but if they are sensitive to sunlight, okay, both are sensitive to sunlight. You cannot say in Iran we have no sun, or in India there is a big sun. So sun is sun. It doesn't matter how much sun is there. Okay, so it means that every human mind has a thinking possibility. Every human. So there is no possibility that there is no mind. Mind works 24 hours constantly. It is so far for the physician to recognize them. So it is our job to recognize the mentals. Mentals are not given, not even taken, but are recognized. While talking and expressing one's view about anything, whether it is sickness or anything else, an individual exhibits mental condition. So mental condition is always there, but we have to be very careful and we have to be a keen observer. It's not that we have to observe everything about the patient, but we only have to observe what we need to know about the patient. This is to say, while talking about sickness, business, or any social or domestic affair, patient is talking of them and it includes their mental state. You know that there are several students when they come to my clinic to learn Sehgal method. The biggest problem is when they come from the college after study 5.5 year homeopathy, and when they want to learn my method, and when I ask them to listen about the patient with me, they are listening, but they could not understand what I'm asking, what is my question, where I'm leading to, where I'm taking my patient to. They could not focus immediately because they are learned from the books. When you are learned from the books, you cannot catch me practically because you are thinking that I'm going to tell you from the books exactly. But this is not true. I'm not going to tell you exactly what is written in the books, Materia Medica. I'm going to tell you or show you how it works. Okay, so that is my job with you, to practically take you to the journey, how to understand a human mind, how it speaks, how it reflects. For example, if a patient weeps in front of you while telling the symptom, what will you do? You can write, what will you do? If a patient starts weeping in front of you while telling his complaint, what will you do? You are going to watch. Why you want to wait? Why you want to use it as a symptom? This is the first thing. First, you have to assess whether it is true or false. Are you getting my point? When a patient is weeping in front of you, the patient is trapping you. This is a lie. Patient is not crying or weeping. He is trying to trap you, and you got trapped. Everybody got trapped. You are focusing, but you are not focusing. Patient should not be aware that you are trapped. You have to be very neutral. Okay. So, what happened? What is the problem? What happened? If I said something wrong to you, no. So, why there are tears in your eyes? So, what is weeping? Weeping means tear in the eyes. Okay. So, tear could be because of dust, because of the pain in the eyes, because of many reasons. But why you are emotionally get trapped? That tears are not related to emotional problem. Tears could be related to the physical problem also. Maybe the patient has eye problem. Maybe the patient has a problem of tears. So first you need to confirm what is this. This could be a symptom of tears. Patient is not weeping. So sometimes, so what we have to learn here, Dr. Shirkhoi, sometimes patient is not aware of his act. Patient has no idea that she is crying or weeping. He has no idea. So, what we need to take, what kind of mental state we have to take is, which is involuntary. Patient is not aware of it. But if it is voluntary, patient is crying or weeping in front of you to have your attention, this you should not take it. So first, according to Dr. Sehgal, there are two kinds of symptoms, false and real. So this you have to understand, whatever a patient is trying to do in front of you is a false symptom or a real symptom. Okay, that is the art of homeopath. So a homeopath needs to understand this is a false. For example, a patient tells you that, doctor, you know that I feel very sad. And I look at the patient and say, but you don't look sad. Doctor, I'm sad. But you don't look sad. You look me okay. Now the patient thinks that, how to tell you I'm sad? I don't know. You have to tell me how you are sad. So what I'm trying to do, when a patient is giving you emotions, what a doctor has to do, doctor has to feel it. You have to feel the sadness. Don't observe the sadness. Sadness has to be shown by the patient. And you have to be a good feeler, not a healer. We have to feel the energy. We have to have the feeling of, anger. Doctor, I get angry very easily. Okay, show me your anger. How can I understand your anger? You have to feel why he gets angry. This feeling is very important with Sehgal method. We are the dealer of feelings in Sehgal method. What we try to understand, feeling of the patient. This is what I try to understand. So the more you feel the patient, the more you feel the accuracy about what is going in the mind of the patient. So don't let the patient tell you the whole story. Only tell the patient, tell me why you are here, what you want from me, what are your expectations. That is very simple and correct thing to start your case. The most difficult part for a homeopath to treat his family member. Do you agree? Okay, good. Especially, that the most difficult task for a husband to treat his wife, the most difficult part, because the wife only has one complaint. What is the complaint of a wife to a husband? You never understand. We are married for 30 years. You never understood. So even if the husband try his best, but the wife has same complaint. So the word understand is very important in our life. Why a patient is coming to homeopath? Because they know homeopath try to understand the patient. But what we are trying to do, we try to understand the symptoms. That's the problem. Instead of understanding the man, we go to the symptom again. What is your symptom? You are weeping. Weeping is a symptom. That we don't have to take. Okay, anger is a symptom. Fear is a symptom. Anxiety is a symptom. We don't have to understand that. We have to understand why you have a fear. Fear of death is a symptom. This is not a mental state. But the patient is living with the fear of death. There has to be some reason behind it. That is a mental state. So what we are learning till now, that we are hunting the symptoms. We are treating the symptoms. So Sehgal method is an approach by which we understand the signals coming out in the form of emotions, the way he feels, through the faculty of mind at the time of any sickness. So this is what we do. When a patient comes to us, our first aim is to collect information they give us through their speech and gestures. We should listen and observe the patient carefully, then analyze the information, ignoring the disease symptom. So there are three things which are very important in Sehgal method. Present, which brings the patient to you. Predominating, that which is uppermost in the mind of the patient. And persisting, that which is trying to settle in the body permanently. So there are three things. Now the first thing in Sehgal method is, whenever a patient is coming to you for any kind of sickness, present means today is very important. Today, okay, not yesterday. For example, a patient comes to you with a problem for the last 2 years, and today he is coming to you for the first time. So the today is very important. This present day is very important. So you should not go back to 2 years. Okay. What you have to do? You have to start the case from today to backward. And your journey from 2 years and you come to today, you will forget everything. So what you have to do to start your journey from today on? Because today he has come to you. So today is very important. So what we need to ask our patient? Why you have come to me today? See, for example, a patient says, I have a problem for the last 6 months. And for the past 5 months and 30 days, I did nothing. 5 months and 30 days, I did nothing. Only today, I thought of visiting you. So when he thought of visiting us, when he thought today. So what is important for me? Today. Why he thought of visiting me today only, after 5 months and 30 days? That is very important. So this is called present state. So present state of mind is very, why we call it a state? What is a state? State means today, whatever condition a patient is having, mentally or physically, pain or depression, this is called a state, whole state of human being. So a patient is coming to you today in the present moment for whatever problem he has. Okay. For example, a patient today has pain and also some mental disturbance. So what I will ask, the pain is more important or work is more important for you? So today there are two issues. Patient has pain for 5 months and 30 days. He has pain. Pain is always there, okay? But why he came today? Because today he came because he could not work. So what has brought my patient? What has brought the patient to you? Pain or work? Work. Because 5 months and 30 days he could work. There was no problem. But today or yesterday evening, he felt the problem is growing. And he got in his mind, he started to think that tomorrow he must go to the doctor, otherwise he could not work in the future. So the pain is not the story, the work is the story. So what we do today, work is the most important point. Predominant. What is predominant today? Work. Okay. Now the patient says that, doctor, in my whole life, I never get bothered by my physical problem. Never. I had pain, I had, fever, I had cough. I never got bothered by this physical problem. Never. But when it comes to work, I get panic. This is happening from childhood or from 20 years. This is persisting. So present, predominate, persisting means the work is important always for this patient, but not his physical problem. So what we do now? Shall we ignore the physical problem and only treat him for the work? No, we have to cure, we have to take care of his physical problem. But the mental state of the work, okay, the thinking about work will help me to find a remedy, okay, to make this pain better. So what is the triangle? This is a triangle. The triangle is pain, work, okay, and this work is giving me signal that why the work is important, and this signal, I give the medicine, it will kill the pain. But now what happened that the patient has come to you because there is a concern in, now please listen to this and you can write it. Patient has come with the concern in his mind that if today he will not take the medicine, then he will not be able to work due to the pain. This is his concern. This is his mental state. So mental state is the present concern of the patient regarding to his sickness. Okay? Am I clear now? What is mental state? Mental state is the concern of the patient. Whatever is happening today, physical or mental level. Okay? Now, patient is giving you a signal that he needs medicine because the work is very important, and he feels that if he will not take the medicine, the pain will not allow him to work. Okay. Now I give the medicine. When I give the medicine, what is the negative reaction? The patient will forget about the work. This is negative. But what is the positive? The patient pain get better. From this signal, I will catch that the work is important in his mind, and I'm giving the medicine only on this signal that the work is very important. But after the medicine, the pain disappears. Nothing happened at the mind. Because I'm not giving him medicine for the mind. I'm only taking the signal from the mind. Is it clear now or not? Is it clear? Please say yes or not. Because the medicine which I'm going to give, it is for the work signal. It is a signal. But it will not help anyway in the mind. It will simply help in the pain disappear. So the patient says, the moment I took the medicine, the pain disappeared. I was very happy because I could work. So patient pain disappeared and he could work and he is happy now. Are you getting my point? So this is called holistic approach of homeopathy. Mental concern is gone, pain is gone, is equal to happy. Energy is good. So this is what we want to give to the patient. So mental, what Sehgal method is doing, in Sehgal method, we are taking the signals appearing in the mind of the patient due to his mental and physical ailments. That's what we are trying to do. So we are trying to catch the signals appearing as the concern of the patient toward his sickness. Sickness could be any kind of disease. So what is sickness? Any kind of disease. And what is sick? What is making you not able to perform your duty? What is a sick state? The sick state is when you are not able to eat, when you are not able to sleep, when you are not able to perform your duties. when you are lying in the bed, you are not productive, you are not able to think. This is called sick state of body and mind. And what is sickness? Is a disease. So we are not taking the signal of disease or sickness. We are taking the signal of sick body as a human mind and body together. Because now I have a pain in my finger. Okay. If my finger will tell me, Dr. Sehgal, go to the doctor, or my mind will say, you have pain in the finger, you have to go to the doctor. My mind is telling me, oh, there is a pain, and if the pain will increase, you will not able to move the finger. How will you survive? This signal is coming from the mind, not from the finger. Is it clear? So when I catch this signal from here, when the patient is speaking to me, I give the medicine. What happened? The pain disappears. Okay, I will tell you how the pain will disappear. This is very scientific. How that I give the medicine on the mind symptom, mind signal, and the pain disappears. How? How it's possible? Because when we have to make from disease to ease. When the mind, what the signal is making the pain here ease. So what we do, what is cure? To bring ease in the patient from the disease. Disease, ease. So this is what we have to do. So we collect all the information and call it totality of the symptoms. Collecting the totality is simple, but the real problem comes while sorting out the information, as the chances are we may ignore some vital points and discard them. Unprejudiced observer. So friends, this is another chapter of Unprejudiced Observer. You cannot be a homeopath unless until you say that I'm an unprejudiced observer. So my question to all of you, are of you, if you are unprejudiced or prejudiced? If you know why it is important to know unprejudiced observer, everybody know that we have to be observer, but we don't only have to be observer. We have to be unprejudiced observer. So if anybody can say for sure, yes, I'm a unprejudiced observer. Hakak, in our real life, we are prejudiced also, not only in practice. So Galaxy A322, it's like a James Bond code, Galaxy A322. I don't know what is Galaxy A322. She says or he says unprejudiced observer. Yes, practically we are prejudiced. Theoretically also we are prejudiced, Hakak. We never know what is unprejudiced. But that is very important. So the first thing you have to learn every day in the morning, if you want to practice homeopathy, I am an unprejudiced observer today. I am an unprejudiced observer today. If I am not unprejudiced observer, I'm not going to practice homeopathy. So, not prejudiced, unfortunately. I didn't understand. Not prejudiced, unfortunately means you are not prejudiced or you are prejudiced. This is very prejudiced of you. When you say I'm not prejudiced, you are prejudiced. You are already prejudiced when you say I'm not this. You are this. For example, you say, I'm stupid. You are prejudiced. How can you say you are stupid? Oh, I'm beautiful. You are prejudiced. So, how to be unprejudiced? See, a physician, a physician should restrain from assumption, speculation, and imagination. Three things. Okay, I will write for everybody. Okay. These three things you should not ever have it in your mind: assumption, speculation, and imagination. Whenever you have this, for example, a patient asks you, Doctor, do you think I will get better? What will you say? You assume you will get better, or you speculate that he will get better, or you imagine that he will get better. Now, please tell me, what is this? I can't read. Mehrana Hosseini. Sorry, I can't read. What is maybe? So, never be positive with your patient. I never give positive assurance to my patient. He will get better or he will not get better. Okay. I do my job. I have to find a remedy. I do my job honestly. That's all. So when a patient asks me a simple question, doctor, do you think I will get better? I will say, I don't know. But you have experience. Yes, I have experience. But every case is different. Even if there is a same disease, every individual is different. Okay? Disease can be similar, but the humans are individual. So I cannot say individually about you. So I'm trying not to speculate about his condition. That is, for example, a patient says, do you think my problem will aggravate? How can I know it will aggravate or not aggravate? How can I speculate? So I cannot speculate about the time of the disease. I cannot speculate about in how many days he will get better. I don't know. I cannot assume that the disease will progress or decrease. I cannot presume. I cannot assume. So these things, Hahnemann told us that we should not be giving any false idea to the patient. Okay, nothing. You have to speak nothing. Keep quiet. Listen to him. If a patient says, Doctor, you are my last hope, don't react. Just listen to him and try to understand. That's all. This is your job. Don't interfere. Don't be a father or a mother of the patient. But we try to be the father of the patient and mother of the patient. No, you are not. You are his physician. Okay? So do your job, not to say too many words. So one should not take a case with premeditated and predetermined format. Important things for any physician, that whatever may he adopts to prescribe a remedy, is to focus on what is the need of the patient. Please listen again carefully. What your patient needs is important to you. not what you want to do for the patient. You want to care, this is your problem. You want to find a synonym, this is your problem. This is not the problem of the patient. What is the problem of the patient is simple. He needs to be cured. He needs to get a good remedy. That is his problem. So try to understand that. Okay? Don't try to put too many efforts in the case. Be simple. Don't try to answer too much. Don't speak too much with the patient. Okay? Simple. Simplest. Law of simplest. So in homeopathy, it is the man and not his disease that is to be treated. So according to Dr. Sehgal, in other words, it is his mind and not the physical condition that is to be balanced, and seeking a corresponding balance in the physical as well as mental state. So what Dr. Sehgal says, it is the mind that to be balanced first, not the physical. So what is the unique feature of this method are? It saves a lot of our time in case taking. The pattern of case taking is similar for acute as well as chronic, and for mental or physical ailments. It is simple and practical approach. The aim of this method is to make homeopathy practicable, result oriented, hence to build up confidence, fully dependable therapy, not an alternative. Now, what is the approach of this method? Understanding of each and every word from the repertory and materia medica. First, let me tell you how Dr. Sehgal learned the meaning of the word from the dictionary and later to apply in patient through the mental state. For example, we have a rubric: indifference, complaint, does not. This is a rubric. Okay. Now, first we have to understand there are two words in the dictionary: indifference and indifferent. Mostly what happens when we read something, we read it as a indifferent, though the word is indifference. Now, indifference means apathy demonstrated by an absence of emotional reaction, the trait of remaining calm and seem not to care, a casual lack of concern. So when we are using the rubric indifference, complaint, does not, it means the patient is just be casual up with his problem. But when we say indifferent, it means showing no care or concern in attitude or action, lacking importance, not mattering one way or the other, often followed by or marked by lack of interest. If this rubric have indifferent, complaint, does not, then it would be like lack of interest in his problem. But when we are using the word indifference, complaint, does not, it means it is he is just lacking concern about it. Oh, it will get better. I can wait. I can. When a patient says I can wait, I'm not too worried about it, then we can use the rubric indifference, complaint, does not, because he can wait. Complain. Now again, you see that the word complain is here and not the word complaint. Complain means express discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. And complaint means an often persistent bodily disorder or disease, a cause for complaining, a formal accusation against somebody, a loud cry of pain or rage or sorrow, an expression of grievance of or resentment. What is rubric? Is the version of two words given in repertory without any explanation. Rubrics are nothing but combination of words. So to know the deep nutshell meaning of rubrics, we should know the meaning of each word. The rubric of physical sections are easy and straightforward. For using rubric, for example, if there is a pain, you need only to know location, modalities, and concomitants. The rubrics of mind sections were never clearly explained. its decoding was not done properly or never. Every patient coming to us is giving us sign and symptom in the form of speech, gesture, and mood, etc. Now, for example, we have the word anxiety. This is the one of the common word which is used in the whole world. Now, what is anxiety? Uneasy about something, doubtful, discomfort aroused by impending pain, danger or evil which is not certain or not specific. And for that, we have a rubric, one of the rubric in the repertory, anxiety causeless. No, so anxiety causeless means without any reason. A patient is having anxiety. Here, the patient cannot explain why he has anxiety, and anxiety is not specific. When you ask a patient to tell you about his anxiety, the patient says, I can't tell you. For example, if my husband goes out of the house, I always has a sort of discomfort that if he has reached to the office safely or not. This kind of anxiety is always there. I don't know something will happen to my husband. And when you ask your patient, I mean that what will happen to your husband? The patient will say, I have no idea, but I always have a feeling that something might happen to my husband when he goes out of the house. So the patient in anxiety has no clear idea and no clear thinking why he has anxiety or discomfort about his thinking. Okay. Then we have fear. Fear is also a discomfort aroused by impending pain, danger, or evil, which is specific in nature. So, friend, anxiety is not specific in nature, where fear is specific in nature. Person knows and can identify the object of the fear. Like we have a rubric, fear of extravagance. What it means that the patient has a fear that his disease will grow further because it is not coming under control. So, but if when you ask your patient that what kind of fear he has a clear idea and tell you about the fear. For example, fear of dog, fear of injection, like this. So, friend, this is in nutshell we have. Okay, so this is in nutshell we have today's session over. This is my first session with you. I hope you have enjoyed it. And the second session, I'm going to take the second part of organon with the second aphorism, and then I will also guide you more rubrics. So second chapter is about more about rubrics understanding and the part of organ and understanding. So now over to you. If anybody has a question, so there is a question from Eliraza. Okay, we need to understand the patient's condition, not prejudice, but prejudice occur unintentionally because of the therapist's own problem. Therefore, if the therapist is in balance, his or her prejudice will be less and he or she will have a better understanding of the reality of the patient's problem. Well, you know that the very first idea of prejudice start from where? The very first idea start from the idea that this is a female problem. Are you getting my point? This is a male problem. This is a prejudice. In homeopathy, it doesn't matter the patient is a male or female. We only have to understand the patient, not that this patient, because this kind of problem is only having in female, so we have to give female remedies. This problem happen in male, we have to give male remedies. This is our prejudice. Are you getting my point now? So other thing is you don't know about patient anything. The moment you know about your patient, you get prejudice. So the first thing is what you need to be unprejudiced observer. You know nothing about the patient. You know nothing about the disease. You know nothing about the sickness. Nothing in your mind. So your mind is like empty CD. empty, completely empty, nothing is in your mind, then only you can be unprejudiced observer. But the moment when the patient comes to you, the patient sits in front of you, and you think that, oh, she's very sad, you become unprejudiced, and you become prejudiced because you assume the patient is sick, the patient is sad, the patient is weeping. Okay, this is your assumption, this is your imagination. Don't get into your, don't assume that this problem will never get better. This is a very complicated problem. Raza, if anyone is there to say goodbye to me,